Good morning, everyone. Let me try that again. Good morning, everyone. There we go. I know some of you are still arriving, some of you are still waking up. Welcome to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. As others are arriving and coming in, I'm Reverend Mary Murray Shelton, the community spiritual leader here at Golden Gate. I am so happy to welcome you this morning. We are a spiritual community that values love, community, integrity, and spiritual growth. And so if you're here, you're kind of entering into an adventure with us this morning. And we welcome you. We're glad you're here. Wherever you are on your pathway of faith, you're welcome here. And that includes you that are watching us online this morning. So we have a couple special things happening this morning, and one of them is we're welcoming new members. That'll be happening in a little while. But I want to invite you now to stand up and say hello to one another. Just introduce yourself to anybody you haven't met yet. Welcome anybody that you're familiar with. Say hi to friends, and so on. Just take a few minutes there with that. Good morning, those of you online. I hope you're all doing well today. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to ask you to sing in just a moment. All right, come on back. You can resume those conversations in just a little while. I want to let you know that our guest musician this morning is Reverend Christy Snow, who's back in North Carolina. She has sent us some wonderful videos this morning. She's such a warm presence. And she is an ordained minister and a singer-songwriter, and she's also the founder of the Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening in Charlotte, North Carolina. She travels all over nationally, internationally, sharing her music as a guest speaker, as a retreat facilitator, and her stage presence and her music is engaging and moving and just really warm and welcoming. So you can find out more about Christy on her website, christysnow.com. But right now I want to invite you to stand to join us for the opening song, which is I Sing My Love Into the World. And the lyrics will be on the screen. It's really easy, because it's one line over and over and over again, but the melody changes a little bit the second two times. So here we go, Christy. Oh, wait, you did that already. And we're doing that. And now, there we go. Here she comes.
Good morning, Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. It is such a pleasure to join you this morning. It is time. It's time for us to sing our love and dance our joy and live our peace and have some fun this morning. So join me if you would, please, and sing along. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, dance my joy. I dance my joy into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. Sing my love into the world. Sing my love into the world. Sing my love into the world.
Yay. Thank you. You may be seated. Woo. This is the time to go ahead and silence your cell phone. Oftentimes we say this and people don't, and then their phone is the one that rings during the meditation. So just in case the universe may be calling you this morning, let it vibrate you instead, and just silence your cell phone so there are no interruptions in our process this morning, because we're just about to turn within for the centering. And so Judith Fleener, Reverend Judith Fleener, is our practitioner this morning. Reverend Christy is going to play us into the prayer, and Reverend Judith will pray us into the morning.
Breathing in this beautiful sound, the light and the love of the air that breathes through us, centering in the fact that the life and love that breathes through us is that eternal blessing that I choose to call God. It is in and through all things, including the air, the fire, the water, and the earth. And standing on this earth, I reach back into antiquity, when those who dwelled the earth were closer to it and knew that it had a divine nature. They knew that they lived between the sky and the earth, and that this is the place where I center and call the divine the goddess. And so in this place of centering, I claim a shift in consciousness, allowing for the new beginnings that the earth nurtures to arise and fall and arise again. To remember that each moment is a new beginning, And some are more poignant than others as we make a deep commitment. And some are as natural as the next breath. But it is all life and it is all God. And so I claim that this day here, this nurturing here in this space, as the words of Reverend Mary come forth, as the music enfolds us, as the joy of friendship surrounds us, that this be the day that the new beginning of healing, whether that be health, life, strength, power, relationships, that in this new moment of new beginning, the infinite now, this time together in community draws us closer to the divine. And so knowing that everything is perfectly appointed for this service, I just let it be, and I let God and Goddess dance within us. I give thanks, and I say, and so it is.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so delighted to be with you again. And I love this title, this theme. I love the theme of nature because nature is very near and dear to my heart and inspires me regularly. This is a song that was inspired by the island of Kauai. Just thinking about that peaceful place brings peace to my heart and to yours, I hope. Closing my eyes to the busy world outside as if my eyelids hold the key to my ability to breathe. Imagining no deadlines and no constraints on my time as I drift to where the music carries me. Timeless as a breeze on a blue Kauai day, wind blowing the peace through my soul, feeling the warm sun without a care in the world, 'cause this moment is all I can know. Worries keep trying to pry my mind off the island and force me to feel them weighing me down. But I know the truth is I can't have this at the ocean or in the middle of my town. Timeless as a breeze on a blue Kauai day, wind blowing the peace through my soul, feeling the warm sun without a care in the world, 'cause this moment is all I can know. Fearless in this moment, I am free. I'm
So that's Christy, and I'm really grateful that she had the opportunity to be back again with us this morning. Now, this is a particularly special day because this is a day when we're going to be welcoming some new members into our community. So at this time, I would like to have all of you new members come forward to this row and remain standing after you get up here. Yay! This is 3 of 4 this morning that are with us. And just remain standing right there, okay? Because we have a little ritual that we do. You've got your little program there. Everybody's got their candle. This is good. So, Frank, I'd like you to join me up here now. Yeah. All right. So, as we welcome new members in, we take them through a process of acknowledging their awareness of the values and the mission and the vision of Golden Gate and accepting that as part of their commitment and their role. And so Frank, as the board president, and I, as the community spiritual leader, lead them through these, and they do their proper, yes, we do's. And at the end, you have a job. Now, you can also do the pledges with them if you want to, because I'll show them on the slides. But at the end, there will be a cue for you, and your job is to stomp and clap and cheer. You think you can do that? Okay, very good. All right. So, at Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, core values guide us. They shape our interactions and our consciousness and our decision-making as a spiritual community. If you are choosing to commit yourself to these shared values, please read them with me now. We commit ourselves to the best of our ability to these shared values. Spiritual growth is an ongoing personal experience of awakening to the divine. Community is a welcoming place of belonging where spiritual growth is supported and shared. Integrity is living honestly, keeping your word, and showing up as your true self. And love is open-hearted connection, given with warmth and kindness. And our new members certainly are exemplary of warmth and kindness. So our mission is our reason for being. It grows out of these core values, and it's the way that we express those values. So the mission is the promise that we make essentially to those who come seeking spiritual community. So join me now, if you would, in reading the mission. Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living is a place to deepen our relationship with Spirit and to safely explore the beliefs that drive our lives. Through our shared experiences in Sunday celebrations, learning, service, and affirmative prayer, we enjoy more fulfilling lives. That's our goal and intention. So you new members, do you pledge to support the mission of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living to the best of your ability? If so, please respond. We do.
We do.
Oh, that was good. Now, the vision statement evolves from our mission, and it's the big picture, in a sense, of the future and how we plan to live our values and mission. So please read that with me now. Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living is a home of belonging for spiritual deepening, loving connection, and inner healing. We are here to experience, express, and witness a renewal of the deep, rich, familiar connection. I'm looking to see, is it there between us and God? Was that okay? Did you get that?
It's different.
Oh, gosh, what did I do? Well, okay. So whatever I said and whatever that says means the same thing. Yes. So, do you new members pledge to participate in the work and play of living the vision statement of Golden Gate to the best of your ability?
We do.
All right. Do you promise to honor your own sacred path and to use the spiritual practices that help you to discover and follow that path so you can live the life you came to live?
We do.
Frank, this is your part.
Members are the voice of this spiritual community. You are ambassadors of the Science of Mind teachings in the larger community, and you're the backbone here as volunteers giving sacred service. You are leaders, inspiring others through your vision and active support of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. Do you promise to uphold and practice these principles in your daily lives? If so, please say, we do.
We do.
If you have a differing opinion, do you promise to meditate first, think second, and speak last? Do you promise to give of your time, talent, and treasure to this beloved activity known as the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living?
We do.
All right, you have pledged your commitment to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living and to its values, mission, and vision. You've pledged your time, talent, and treasure to its expansion and growth. And we're delighted and honored to welcome you as members of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living with all the rights, responsibilities, and privileges of that leadership. It's your turn. Sarah? Can you get a hug? Sarah Ray, Bruce Stagbrook, and Tom Young. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay. Woo! Thank you. Please take your seats, and as you do, oh, let's have you put your candles up here around the one rose that's left for Nancy, who couldn't be here with us today. And then I'm going to do the magic. Actually, maybe I should leave them on. Maybe I'll leave them on. When they came up here when they came to get their candles at the back, Tom said to me, well, I was told Reverend Mary controls the candles, so maybe it really is a cult. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's not a cult. So this year our theme has been Living from the Heart of Wonder. And now in the month of August, what Chrissy was referring to is our theme for this month is the magic and holiness of nature. And so what I intended to do this morning was to, and I will in a moment, what I intended to do this morning was to speak really about how amazing it is that Earth is even here, and share with you some of the amazing things about the Earth, and then recognize our connection with it. So I want you to think for a moment about the most beautiful place you've ever been. Or if you have more than one, think of beautiful places, really beautiful places that you've been, maybe beautiful buildings or beautiful places in nature. Maybe mountains or water or a valley, a forest. Just remember what that feels like, what the air smells like. And think about how many of your senses are engaged by that place as you think of it. What is the light like? What is the temperature like? Is there any fragrance in the air? What is the consistency of the ground under your feet in this place? Are there people there? What is the energy like in this place? Think about all the ways in which the earth offers us such an array of incredible experiences. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later. I also like to begin with a joke, as you know. But today, I have some special information to give you, so this is going to happen in place of a joke. So let me start by saying that several months ago, we started looking for new office space because we wanted to reduce our costs and also maybe move into some place that was a little more updated. And so we started touring some of those places. And while this was happening, I got a call from the minister at the Community Congregational Church in Tiburon. And we met each other. We hadn't met before. We had a conversation. And he said they were interested in looking at sharing their campus with another congregation. And I had never seen it. So he took me up for a tour, and I was blown away, because it's on top of a hill in Tiburon. It looks out to the Golden Gate Bridge. And the more we talked, he and I, the more our boards talked, the more our little teams talked, the more like a possibility this was looking. And so I was getting really enthused about that process. Oh, here we are with the earth, a beauty and a mystery. That's the name of the talk today. So this is the sanctuary looking toward the altar space, the platform space. And we were, all of us, getting pretty enthused about it. And then the universe did a cosmic left turn. Do you know what a cosmic left turn is? It's like a sacred detour. Except it doesn't feel sacred at the moment. It just feels like, oh my God, the rug just got pulled out from under me. So that was a little bit how this felt. What unfolded was, Reverend David at this church decided that it was really time for him and his family, for a number of family reasons, to move back east where he came from. And so he's leaving by mid-October, which then began to make it look like maybe their congregation had some other work to do before they invited a whole bunch of other people in, and that this might be a little too much to do all at once. Their process in selecting somebody to be their minister can take from 18 months to 2 years. So although they want to go much faster than that, and maybe they will, we went, okay, well, so this was a lovely idea, and it's the kind of thing that the universe does when it is encouraging you and also letting you know there's more. That's my experience of it. So Reverend Michael Beckwith says every delay is not a denial. When I was a minister in Santa Rosa, we started out with a little church that had been actually a synagogue. It was a little tiny space. There was even a section on the side for the women. And this was a lovely little space, and we had services there for quite a long time. And then we were growing enough that we wanted to move someplace else, and so we wanted to sell this little building. Well, it was a historic building in Santa Rosa, and it had about 4 parking places, which meant that every business that came in to look at it and consider buying it could not get a use permit because there wasn't enough parking. We had 7 offers fall through in 1 year. And so one of my board members said to me, well, do you think Spirit is trying to tell us that we shouldn't sell the building? I said, no, actually, I think Spirit's trying to tell us we don't have the right buyer yet. And what happened ultimately was a family bought the building. Now, they couldn't change it on the outside because it was a historic space, but they redid the entire inside, and 4 parking places were fine for them, for a residence, for a home. And so the building sold. So in the process of looking at the possibility of moving everything, or what we were looking at earlier, just moving the offices, we're kind of back to that exploration, to that looking. When I teach Science of Mind to new students, and I'm teaching them how we pray, our form of affirmative prayer, I say when they end it, they should use a phrase like, this or something better now manifests for me for the good of all concerned. That way the universe isn't stuck on just my ability to think what it ought to be. You with me here so far? So this is one of those situations where I look at this gorgeous thing and say, okay, well, this came into our field of experience, so this or something better now manifests for us for the highest good of everyone concerned. And that means there's no danger, no damage, no harm to anyone, but we are open and available for what wants to show itself to us next. Or as one of my Persian healer friends used to say, when things would start to move in the right direction, thank you, please continue. So we're in that thank you, please continue space with this. It does not look like this is going to be happening, at least not now. So we're going to go ahead with what we were looking at before, and go back and look at the office spaces and reconsider that and see where the universe takes us, because it's already begun the journey, you see, or this would not have shown up. This is the first sign that this unfoldment that we're working on is the right direction to be going. So this was a big carrot dangled out there and whetted our appetites. So we're looking for the good and praising it. So I just want to let you in on that. Some of you knew that was in process, some of you didn't. So I just want to let you know that we're setting that aside, we're going onward, and we'll see what the universe has in store for us. Okay? Everybody here with me on that? All right, very good. So, moving on then into our morning celebration service, the earth, a beauty and a mystery. So as we begin to look at this, go back for a moment to that beautiful place and imagine that you're standing right there in that beautiful place. So you can smell the forest or the ocean or the fresh mountain air, or you're in a magnificent cathedral, or you're in an art space. And you can feel the energy of the people around you if there are any. You can hear bird song if there are birds around. You can feel the temperature of the air. You can take a couple of steps in this space and feel what it feels like to be in this space. And I want you to shift your attention into gratitude. Just great appreciation and gratitude for the gift of being here and experiencing this amazing abundance. Now, open your eyes. I know that many of you have seen photographs of incredible places around the world, maybe places that you've never been, but we've had kind of a peek into some of these astounding places in the world. Think of all the different kinds of grass there are growing on the planet. Think of all the different kinds of flowers and the different kinds of flower petals. So now look at this. What is that? It is. It's actually a chicken. It's called a silky chicken. Now, did you know that chickens are the closest living thing on Earth to a Tyrannosaurus Rex? Isn't that amazing? Now, can you believe that these are the same species? This is the largest Great Dane and the smallest Chihuahua in England or Wales at a particular time, and they got them together and posed them. You know, when my son was a child, we used to go to a friend's house who had a Great Dane. And I don't know what you know about Great Danes, but I would drive up in my car, and Bruno would come over and look at me eye to eye as I was sitting in my car, and he wasn't up on his hind legs. That's how tall he was. A Great Dane is a huge animal, and yet the same species. Is that bizarre? Now, I know that has to do with our breeding and crossbreeding and so on and so forth, and yet these are canines, both of these. Now, here's something even more interesting. Would you believe that these are all flowers? One of them looks like an eyeball. The other one looks like two small purple ducks, but they're flowers. They have adapted themselves in the way that they look for particular purposes. I believe these little ducks are one of the very unusual kinds of orchids that show up. Orchids like to imitate all kinds of things. Have you noticed? You can find, if you look on YouTube or Google, you can find pictures of orchids that look like monkeys or little smiling faces or, all sorts of things. So there is just this incredible diversity of life that we haven't even seen all of. Here's the thing. There are so many languages, customs, types of dress, kinds of food, superstitions, manners, just in the people. And we look pretty much alike. Although, if you took a newborn baby and put it with my son, it might look like two different species. It would look a little bit like the Great Dane and the Chihuahua, because he's 6'6" and big. So, but we come in all these different shades and flavors and varieties, right? All of this diversity, and you've experienced some of it traveling around the world. Did you know that in Russia, to point is very rude? You use your whole hand, not your finger. In, I believe it's Thailand, you do not cross your legs with your foot pointed at another person. That's considered very rude. In Japan, if you don't eat everything that you're given, it's assumed that you don't like what you're being served, and that's considered rude. We, as Americans traveling, don't necessarily know those things unless somebody tells us. So we could go offend people right and left without any effort or intention whatsoever. And others coming here can do the same thing with us. You may have experienced that. So the estimated temperature at the center of the Earth is the same as the temperature of the surface of the sun. It's about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. There are 1 billion microbes in 1 teaspoon of soil. So many viruses, different viruses on Earth, that if you assigned one to every star in the universe, you could do that 100 million times over. That's how many viruses there are on our planet right now. The existence of our life on Earth requires 5 specific conditions. The first one is that we are in a kind of what's called a Goldilocks zone. A Goldilocks zone means it's not too much, it's not too little. So first of all, we have to be the optimum distance from the sun. We have to be the optimum distance from the sun so that the planet, as it's forming, when it cools, the water doesn't freeze. Because if it freezes, then of course it won't support life. If it has, we have at the center of the planet a magnetic core. It is moving. The magma at the center that's 10,000 degrees is moving. And that creates a magnetic field around the planet, which protects us from certain kinds of influences from the sun and solar wind and things like that. It protects the atmosphere and it protects life from cosmic radiation. If you don't have that magnetic core, then you become Venus, which is like a scorching hell. If the water on the planet freezes, then you become like one of the frozen planets. So it has to be just the right distance from the sun. It has to have this protective magnetic field. It has to have an atmosphere that produces a moderate greenhouse effect. Too much and too little, it either burns up or freezes. We have to have just the right amount of greenhouse gases because it prevents the water from freezing. So then we have to have the water, of course, and then we have to have oxygen. And the way that those things evolved and were manifested here on Earth is so amazing. Like the first single-celled creatures that existed on Earth, they were not breathing oxygen. So there was methane and helium and whatever else. And then there began to be the development of these little tiny organisms that used photosynthesis, the green things. And as they used photosynthesis to nourish themselves, they began to release oxygen. Well, oxygen was toxic to some of these early other things that had lived, so oxygen was responsible for the first great extinction on Earth. But the fact that hydrogen and oxygen combined to make water and so on made life possible on this planet. And sometimes scientists talk about, well, it's not that unusual that this would have happened. It might have been inevitable that it would have happened. Well, yes, maybe that's true, but so far, we haven't seen another planet anywhere like ours. So it appears to have been kind of a rare occurrence. That doesn't mean it isn't somewhere else in the universe, because what we've explored of the universe is, so minuscule that who knows what else is out there. But so far, we appear to be unique, which is quite amazing. And yet, in the midst of that uniqueness, we don't just have like 24 different kinds of flowers, or a handful of different kinds of fruits or vegetables. We have a superabundance of them on the planet. So many more than we could need or imagine or want. Anybody ever have a fruit tree? Ever have a fruit tree in your yard? Can you eat all the fruit from that tree? Absolutely not. It's not possible. That's one tree. As Robert Schuller said once, think about the number of seeds in an apple. Now think about the number of apple trees that could come from those seeds, and the number of apples that could come from those trees. So one apple tree becomes a planet populator, Now, not every seed germinates, but that's how it is with every kind of life. Not every seed germinates, not every seed takes life, but the ones that do, wow, they're amazing. So we look at all of that and recognize there's something precious about Earth and about being here on Earth that we need to treasure and appreciate. Khalil Gibran said, "Forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet, and the winds long to play with your hair," for those of you who have some. Thoreau said, "Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads." And Ernest Holmes said, "I am guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination which scatters the moonbeams across the waves and holds the forces of nature in its grasp. I am guided by the same intelligence and inspired by the same imagination that manifested all of this." Now, when we say that God is all there is, in our teaching, what we mean is that everything and everyone, no exceptions, are manifestations of that infinite presence. Therefore, out of the infinite possibilities of what could be manifested, everything that's here was chosen in some fashion to be brought forward over however many billions of eons it's been, including us, and that every one of us was one of millions of possibilities when that egg and sperm came together and were fertilized, and yet we are the ones who are here. So we're here for a reason. We're here because we were wanted and needed by the universe for it to be completely expressed, although it's never completely expressed. Creation is going on and on and on and on and on, right? Now, one of the interesting things about this is to recognize that in the midst of that, then, everything that's created is for the purpose of a blessing. Now, how can that possibly be? I mean, I can list a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, or in my experience, or somebody else's experience that I know right now, that I would swear is no blessing. Have you ever had something bad happen in your life and then it evolved somehow into something that turned out much, much better? But you had to get through that crap to get to the other side somehow, right? Because if we don't, if we go around it, if we avoid it, whatever it was that mess empowered us with, or woke us up to, or brought us forward through, whatever that mess was, it was there to serve us. Yes, it was a mess. It was painful. It was awful. We didn't like it. We may have resisted it. We may have cursed it. We certainly probably didn't bless it. I doubt that we welcomed it. And yet, most people would say, when they look back at the stuff that was hardest in their lives, that it got them to where they are now, and they wouldn't want to go back and skip that because they might not have made it to where they are now. And so I think when we're going through a hard time where we want to say, I don't like this, I don't want this, I'm not doing it. Some women in labor feel like this. I am not doing it. But as the universe would have it, opportunity after opportunity after opportunity will show up inviting us to step through the mess, because the universe never gives up on us. And it never does, because that infinite intelligence, whatever that is, knows who we really are. We are the ones that are confused. So the intelligence keeps beckoning us deeper into who we really are, into the deep truth of our value and our wholeness, in spite of whatever it looks like in the moment or whatever we've been through on the way. Yeah? Thomas Troward, who was a great influence on our founder Ernest Holmes, his writings were, Thomas Troward wrote, "It is therefore a mathematical necessity that because the originating life principle is infinite, it is a single unit, and consequently, wherever it is at all, the whole of it must be present." This, to me, this idea is absolutely the most mind-blowing thing about this teaching, because it says that not only is the infinite, God, universe, infinite intelligence, love, whatever name you want to call it by, that is infinite, so unlimited by time or space. Time isn't a linear thing in that infinite place. We're not limited by, I'm here, you're there. That one is not only omnipresent, it's fully omnipresent in every cell of your body. Kind of like a hologram, If you do all the things to create a hologram, you get on a piece of holographic film, you get these wave, if you look at it, it doesn't look like anything at all. You'd never know a picture was in there, a three-dimensional picture. Anybody been down to the pier there in San Francisco and seen the three-dimensional head that talks? So what happens is if you take that piece of film and you shine a laser light through it, whatever the object was that was photographed in the holographic way onto this paper shows up in 3 dimensions right out in front of you. And you can walk around it and look at it. When you shine a laser light through that holographic film, that's what you get. Now, here's the cool thing, though. You can take that piece of holographic film and you can cut it up into little tiny pieces. And you can pick up any one of those little tiny pieces and shine that laser light through it, and you'll get the whole thing again. The entire 3-dimensional thing is encoded everywhere on the page, on that holographic film. Now, the fact that we can demonstrate that, to me, is astounding. If you use a little tiny piece of it, then the image is a little fuzzier, but it's recognizable. So I like to use the analogy that because all of that divine presence is in us all the time, it's around us, it's in us, that's what omnipresence is, but the whole of it is present in us, in all of us. We don't get that, but we're limited by time and space, and it isn't. So we're just fuzzy holographic images of God. This is it. We have to discover who we are so that the image can get a little clearer. But we are who we are. And no matter what we do, no matter what we believe, we can't change that. We are created out of that mystical, magical, infinite, whatever it is. And we manifest as the unique being that we are. I was reading somewhere this week that color doesn't really exist. Color is not a thing. Color is different vibrations, different wavelengths. That's all it is. It's eyes that make color and brains. So we don't see color the same way that some insects do. We don't see color the same way that some animals do, and I'll talk about that in a couple weeks. We don't hear the same things in the same way that some animals can or do. And yet, who's right? It's just vibrations, and some of us are attuned to receive more of them than others, and different ones than others. But the vibrations are all there. Who knows what colors we are not able to see? Beyond X-ray and infrared, who knows? So yesterday, I had the opportunity to do a memorial for a man that was a colleague in ministry, not in New Thought, He was a United Church of Christ minister who grew up in the 60s, became a minister in the 60s, was a political activist, lived on a commune, was a farmer, was a carpenter, did military draft counseling to such an effective degree that he was visited by the FBI, who told him not to do that anymore because he took an undercover FBI agent to Los Angeles who was a draft dodger to try and help him get conscientious objector status. So there is an FBI file on him to this day. So this man, he was very devoted to all of the issues that people in poverty face: oppression, suppression, repression, hunger, being unsheltered, needing clothing, needing work, not having a sense of self-esteem or self-respect. He was very concerned, compassionate, and engaged in all the places he lived in helping to find ways to support and provide for those people. So for decades, he did this. And this was a lifetime of activism, service, and compassion by Michael DeVore. And Michael was a colleague of mine in the Northern California Sonoma County Ministerial Association many years ago. And after being engaged for many years, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And he had it for 30 years, and he never stopped. Even the last 6 years, when he was in an acute care facility, he was still writing and making suggestions and being engaged. He wound up as the president of the Residents Association, of course. This guy was an organizer from the womb, I think. And yet, and he was married 3 times. He had four sons. The people that gathered for this ceremony yesterday, I asked them all at the beginning to join in a circle and each one say a word that was a quality they were claiming for themselves to live out that day that they also felt represented Michael. And the words they got were awe, wonder, curiosity, steadfastness, gratitude, compassion, love. No one said anything about his illness, about his struggles, nothing. His wife said to me, when anybody would come into his room, he would open like a flower. He would always make them feel special and like they were the most important person to him at that moment. He was very charming, very welcoming, very loving. While he was in acute care, he dictated his memoir, and that book is somewhere now in the world. This was a man who lived in the course of one lifetime, about 3 lifetimes, really. He lived until his physical form could no longer support the spirit within him at all. It was completely used up. And then he went on. And I told the people, it reminds me of a story that I heard about Ram Dass many years ago. Ram Dass used to listen to a woman who channeled a being called Emmanuel. Although she didn't actually speak as Emmanuel, she heard Emmanuel and then said what Emmanuel said. And Ram Dass always said, I don't care if she's making it up, if it's her higher self. It makes no difference to me if it's what she says it is or not. I appreciate what feels to me like useful wisdom, and that's what I use. So one day he said to Emmanuel, what should I tell people about death? And Emmanuel said, tell them it's perfectly safe. Tell them it's like taking off a tight shoe. It's like being at a party where a lot of people are talking loud and there's music and a lot of people are smoking, and stepping outside for a breath of fresh air. So in my view, my friend yesterday took off the tight shoe and stepped out for a breath of fresh air. But he still lives in the hearts of everyone who knew him and loved him. He is one of the manifestations, just like us, of the divine here on this amazing being, Gaia, that we think of as the planet Earth. He is just like us. We are just like him. And in fact, we are each other. We are mirrors of one another. So when we see someone who never complained, who was always grateful, who responded to each person like they were amazing, that's the vision of who we can be in the world and how much we can appreciate this earth that we live on, which is such a gift, a beauty, and a mystery. Yes? So let's take this now within and center ourselves. Take a couple deep breaths. And let's know together that there is one life, one mind, one presence. And it is the life of God, or that's just shorthand for the mystery. It is whole, complete, and perfect, this life, just as it is and just as it isn't. And it is our life right now. We are enlivened by the one. We are representatives of the one. And we are up to the task wherever we are on our sacred path. So I claim for us today that we have the stamina, the wisdom, the joy, the optimism and motivation, the support to live the life we came to live, to be the being we came to be, to learn what's ours to learn, and most especially to give our sacred gifts in the world, whatever they are, knowing that the world wants and needs and is enriched by these, as we are enriched by giving them, by recognizing them. And so for us this week, I claim that opening in consciousness, in awareness, in perception, in willingness that allows us to get hold of a little corner of this with gratitude, to look and see our world with the eyes of wonder and appreciation, to allow awe to come in and show itself. I'm so grateful to know this good is already within us, to claim it, to enjoy it. And so I release this prayer into the law of creative mind and spirit, knowing that it always says yes and it is acting right now. And so I let it go and I let it be. And together we say, and so it is. So I invite you to stand and join me now in our morning affirmation. Hopefully this is the same thing on my page as it is up there. We're going to try and say this together. Our unique, beautiful earth is God in expression. Everywhere I look. No? Okay, I'm going to read yours. I see the miracle and mystery of aliveness everywhere. I am born of earth and made of earth. I love this mother of life and honor her with my kindness and my loving care. And so it is. You may be seated. You know, I said I wasn't going to tell a joke, so the universe did it for me by scrambling my slides up, the words in my slides. You just never know. I'd like to invite the ushers to come forward. This is our sacred offering time. If you're new here, your presence here already is your gift. For everybody giving a gift this morning or who has given a gift in the past week, either on your auto tithe or by sending a check, we're blessing everything that we've received and everything that we are in the process of giving here and in our lives and in the world. If you'd like to text to donate, you can do that very easily with the number on the screen, 415-779-7613. And now, let's go ahead together and bless the offering that's being given. So if you're giving something today, just hold it over your heart as we bless this. And we say together, this gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time. And so it is. We can't hear her, Dana, wherever you are. There's no sound.
We are all the ripples on this endless sea. We all change the world every day to some degree. Even when we think we're not, no matter which road we choose, we're changing the world every day. Me and you. So how will you change the world today? What are the things you will do? Which are the words you'll choose to say? How will you change the world today? And not just if you're trying to, but in your everyday. How will you change the world today? Now maybe it's the little things you say or the things you choose not to say that impact a life. From the car that cuts you off on the road to the children who become what they're shown. Can you believe you're part of what you see? So how will you change the world today? What are the things you will do? Which are the words you'll choose to say? How will you change the world today? And not just if you're trying to, but in your everyday. How will you change the world today? How will you change? What will you do? Who will they see and what is your truth? How will you change? What will you do? Who will they see and what is your truth? How will you change? What will you do? Who will they see? And how will you change the world today? What are the things you will do? Which are the words you'll choose to say? How will you change the world today? And not just if you're trying to, but in your everyday. How will you change the world today?
So now, on behalf of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, all of us here together accept this offering with great gratitude, and we send it out into the world that there might be more appreciation of the earth everywhere that this goes, that people will begin to experience wonder more deeply, whether they know why or not. And so it is. So if you're here with us for the very first time today, we are thrilled that you chose to come here. Welcome, welcome. Please join us for snacks and beverages and whatnot back there in the back. And darn, I was going to bring Paula up right at the beginning. Too late. Okay. So if you who are new, go to this table at the back and pick up one of these packets. These are welcome packets that Amanda's waving around up there. You'll know because they say welcome right on them. And inside there's a blue card. If you fill this out and turn it in back there, we're going to give you a little book as our thank you gift for being here today. And this will also allow you to say if you'd like to be on our mailing list or not, or if you have any other interests in things that are coming up. So please take a look at that. It also has a free Science of Mind magazine from previous months that you can check out with the special meditations and so on. The little book that will give you is a book of affirmations that you can use for circumstances in your life when you need a boost. Now, we'd like to thank everybody that helped get it together this morning, and particularly because Jim Homa, who comes every Sunday at 8:30 in the morning without fail and has been doing so for decades. I do not believe that Jim has ever taken a Sunday off, is home with COVID. And so, bless his heart, he texted a few people. He gave Frank a handwritten, or I guess Frank wrote it, but he gave Frank a list of 18 different things he needed to do this morning. So fortunately, we had a bunch of people who were here, and well, even one of our new members came in early and helped set everything up. So that I really want to acknowledge that, and I want to acknowledge Brandon Marsh, who was a new member last time, who helped shepherd the new members this morning. So let's thank everybody. And my apologies to Dave Barranco, who is not Deborah Irwin, as it says up here on the list. All right. Sunday teams, as you know, are the ones that do receive the offering. They help count the offering. They bring out the snacks. They clean up the snacks. They give out the programs and say good morning. It's a great way to meet people and begin to recognize faces. If you'd like to be on one of those teams, it's just once a month. Talked to Paula Yu this morning. She's a woman with a short gray-white hair and glasses, and she'll be dashing around out here in just a minute. Please talk to Paula about that. It's very easy when there are a bunch of people involved. And the Sunday setup team, of course, feels similarly. And if you would like to be involved in helping with Sunday setup, please talk to our Leadership Council President, Frank Lang, who's looking around to see if I'm actually referring to him, and yes, I am. At the very back there, talk to Frank, and he will tell you how to get involved in the setup team. Also, Quick Start is coming up. That's a workshop that is an introduction to our philosophy. That's a couple hours. It's going to be in, I think it's next Sunday, yes. From 12:30 to 2:30, it will be on Zoom. So no matter where you're going to be next Sunday, you can participate in that if you want to. And what you want to do then is to email our administrator so she can send you the Zoom link and the handouts that you'll want to print out and have for yourself for that class. It's fun interacting with Marilyn. She's one of our licensed prayer practitioners, and she's a sweetheart, I believe. Now, Marilyn just recently had a hip surgery, but I think she's still up for this, so next Sunday I will tell you if that's changed, but in the meantime, go ahead and get yourself registered. Also, on the 21st of August, we're going to have our Harvest Fair, and we're going to set up tables at the back. We invite you to bring your bounty, anything you've grown, flowers, fruits, vegetables, and the idea is to bring lots for sharing, and then you can take parts of what you'd like to have, but please wait until after the service to take things, because we're going to do a contest this year for best looking vegetable, best looking fruit, best tasting pie, whatever, best flower arrangement, and best of show. So there will be some judges and there will be some tasters back there during the service, and then right away afterwards we're going to begin presenting awards. So you might want to get here early, get yours out there on the table. It'll show where fruits go, where vegetables go. If you made something, bring a little card that expresses what the recipe is or something unique about that particular thing. And Steve Einhaus was inspired with the tasting by the old movie State Fair. About halfway into the movie, there is a tasting that happens at the State Fair with Wally Cox, for anybody who remembers Wally Cox. And this, whatever it is they're tasting, was obviously made with bourbon or something, because the judges keep tasting it and keep tasting it and keep tasting it. It wins. So anyway, I'm not asking for you to flavor anything with bourbon. I'm just telling a story. So next 2 weeks from today. Also, we want to invite you to participate in the Meetup and Cleanup again. This meets in the Target parking lot over on Shoreline Parkway, and it's going to be August 20th from 12 to 2. Snacks and gloves and bags will be provided. It's a great time for people to get together, to get a little exercise, to hang out with friends. You can bring your friends. Contact Susie Coity if you intend to come. We ask that everybody bring their own water in a nod to non-single-use things. Bring, a thermos or something with your water. That would be just fabulous. And of course, speaking of that, Sunday snacks are welcome. We want to thank all of you who have been bringing Sunday snacks. Thank you, thank you. That has been great, and keep them coming. That's just wonderful. Also, the climate action tip for this week. This website has 12 ways that we can make an easy, immediate difference in the way that we interact with the planet. So they're all listed there. If you're interested, you might want to take a screenshot, take a picture of that. But you can also go to the website, nrdc.org/stories, and then it says how you can stop global warming. You can choose that one and get more detail about every one of these. They were too many to choose one and look for details. I figured you can look up the ones you're interested in and find that out yourselves. All right, so it's prayer time. As we wrap the service up, I'd like to invite the practitioners to surround the room and bring me the prayer box. You know, of course, that you can put a request into the prayer box anytime on Sunday, and our practitioners on duty today will be praying for it over the week. But also you can make a request online from our website, ggcsl.org. There is a resources tab, and you can make an online prayer request right there if you want to. So for everything that's already gone into this box today, for all the prayer requests you may have in your heart this morning, we're going to do this prayer. And also, please know that prayer is available for you for free with a practitioner from the table over here. Just go to the table after the service, and they will sit down with you in a private space and do prayer for you. So, turning within once again, we are grateful for this day. We're grateful for the beauty of the place that we live in. We're grateful for the unique, amazing qualities of this incredible planet and for these amazing bodies and for all of the life and diversity and gorgeosity on the planet. We're very grateful. We know that every bit of this is that divine in expression, and it is right here in this room. It is the very air we breathe. It is all the activities of our bodies. So much is going on in the activity of spirit in this moment, right in this place, and within us. And we don't need to effort at any of it. So we enter into this morning with a profound sense of wonder and gratitude. And we invite those qualities and that awareness to stay with us, to carry us through this week with laughter and with love. So we let this prayer go and we just let it be. And together we say, and so it is. It's the laughter wafting from the kitchen. I love it. All right. Please stand and join me for the benediction and the closing song with Reverend Christy. And the closing song is a Ricky Byers song. We let the love wash over us. we let it be. And so it's very easy, it repeats, and you won't have a problem with it. You probably already know it. So join me now in the benediction as we say together, I now walk, so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness, for spirit and all people and I are one eternally, and so it is. And please remember to greet, welcome, congratulate our new members, and to make sure that you look around and introduce yourselves to anybody that you have not yet met or that you haven't seen in a while, and then join us for goodies right away after the service. So now, let's sing.
It's been such a pleasure this morning. I just thank you again from the bottom of my heart, and just know the love that I have for you, and let it wash over you as we share that together in a Ricky Byers chant that I love so much. We let the love wash over us. We just let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy, we let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace, we let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the grace, we let the grace wash over us. We let it be. We let love, we let the love wash over us. We let it be. I love you, I bless you, and I thank you.